Let me move on to the next topic, which is, to me, one of the most unsettling developments in church history in a while, and that is the concept of securing church cribs. The way cribs have been designed over the years, this kid I think he started out starring in those commercials for E-Trade. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. The FTC passed some rules on securing church cribs, and I've kind of given you the highlights there. They became effective June 2011. As of that date, all cribs sold in the United States must meet new regulations. By December of 2012, all cribs in use in the United States must meet these guidelines. Now, I'm going to explain more of the reasons for this in a second. But if you take away nothing else from this slide, it's the part in red. And Monica, what did you find on Craigslist?
Just last week I was posting something for free on Craigslist, and I happened to see a listing, 10 cribs, free to nonprofit or church. And I thought, oh, somebody missed the point there, because they're giving them exactly to the people who need to be replacing them. So I did email the person too, and let them know that they shouldn't be giving away the cribs, that they should be destroyed. So it's out there, so I don't know if that was any of your all's ad, because they're blind ads on Craigslist, so I don't know who it was, but we need to watch that one.
If you did it, you don't have to stand up. Here's the problem. There's no way to make these existing drop-down cribs safe. And the risks of trying to do so are just not worth it. And it's a crime to sell these cribs after June, because they've already passed a law that says you can't sell non-complying cribs anymore. And if you give them away, you probably technically fall under the concept of a, quote, transfer. And for this purpose, a transfer is the same of a sale. So even giving it away, in effect, may have triggered the liability prohibited by this statute. So the short answer is, if you have the old style cribs that have not been purchased since June of this year, then you need to get into a program for getting rid of them as soon as possible by destroying them. Don't give them away. Cribs manufactured prior to December of 2010 probably do not meet the new standards. Cribs manufactured after June 28, 2011 do comply. There's a resource for this. Richard Hammer did a wonderful report in his church law and tax report in the September-October version. And if you go to that, if you have questions about whether or not a specific crib you have complies, it contains in there a listing of the characteristics that are required for it to comply. But here's the problem. What you don't know makes you nervous, makes me nervous. The risks of non-compliance. Let's say you happen to forget about it, somebody's committee doesn't follow up, whatever, and you end up with these non-complying cribs and an accident occurs. And by the way, I didn't go into all of the history for why these cribs have been so dangerous, but there really have been a lot of deaths and injuries from these cribs. They really are a serious problem that we needed to address as a country. Congress passed a law providing for a fine of up to $100,000 per non-compliant crib. On top of that, you're liable for civil suit damages if the crib injures somebody and you own it. Punitive damages are also certainly possible, if not likely, against a church if you have these cribs. So it's not just ordinary negligence we're talking about here, it's punitive damages. And why is that a problem? Well, there are two reasons. Any directors, members of a board of directors here? Yeah, you're really going to like this part. One, punitive damages are generally not covered by your liability insurance policy. And number two, Arizona's statute and the federal statute, which can provide immunity for directors under certain circumstances, does not protect you in cases involving punitive damages. So you literally are putting the personal assets of your directors on the line if you have these non-compliant cribs around. The church liability policy also may contain other exclusions based on using defective products. So this is another loop back to why we're so concerned about having the proper legal structure for our companies, because it's so easy for you to end up unintentionally with an uninsured, underinsured, or uninsurable item. A non-complying crib is a great example of an item that is not insurable as a risk. Here's a quick summary of what the new crib regulations accomplish. There's no more traditional drop side cribs. The wood slats must be made of stronger wood. They have to have an anti-loosening device. They require more durable mattress supports. They undergo rigorous safety testing. And there must be a certificate of compliance with the crib, which describes the product, the testing, et cetera, et cetera. You can always go to the Consumer Safety Product Commission website if you need more information on that. See Richard Hammer's report from the September, October of this year. Or there's also a website called churchsafety.com, and they have a kids section that's got more information.